The market has literally been all over the place. We've got a lot of new players and lots of bots, and maybe even Jagex is deleting some bots now. So let's take a look at some of the items in the market. A lot of them you guys suggested from the last video, so let's hop right into it. So we've got the new Confliction gauntlets, and let's take a look at the past month of this item. Ups and downs, of course, right? So starting last month with 96 mil, and it looks like it is on the rise at 112 right now. You love to see that. Obviously, when it first dropped, it's going to be a lot more expensive, but it looks like it's actually slowly on the rise again. Very nice gloves for PvP and PvM. I figured I'd start this off with a little bit more of a positive note. We've got the Dexterous Prayer Scroll on the rise, which is really nice to see because for the longest time, I remember this item was like 6 million GP, and whenever you got a rare or a purple from the Chambers as Eric, it was just like, yeah, I don't really care about 6 mil, right? But with so many new players coming into the game, right, they need to get this Prayer Scroll unlocked. It's also really good at the new Delve boss, right? A lot of people are using range there, so very high in demand right now. The Chambers is super profitable. Also, pretty much the exact same story for the Arcane Prayer Scroll, right? They were like 1 million GP back in April as well, and yeah, they're up to pretty much 5 million GP now. This would have been such a huge investment if you had like, you know, 100 of these or something. You would have made a killing. Okay, we've got the Avernic Treads, which is pretty much the best boots in the game, right? It's crazy that they were 1 billion GP on release, and it kind of looks like they're just crashing now a little bit, right? Over the past month, kind of. Looks like they have gone up a little bit, but 300 million GP, still a pretty expensive pair of boots, but for being like one of the best in the entire game, honestly, this is a really good price for the boots. So we'll see what the future holds for this item, if they will drop anymore. I guess it depends how many people are farming the Delve boss. The new wand, I guess, staff, the Eye of Ayak, looks like it's kind of in a similar situation to the boots, where it's kind of stabilized the price now from release. This is Redwood logs, and these are really interesting. This is just the past week, and you can see that they are going down quite a bit. So they've had a couple of very nice use cases over the last little bit. Of course, we had the new fletching minigame, which caused a lot of people to kind of want Redwood logs, but I feel like people have already unlocked all the rewards and are done with fletching now, right? Also, they added the bonfires, so you can AFK the Redwood logs. They didn't add the bonfires, but they made them the same XP as lighting them, so a lot of people are using Redwood logs to AFK, right? So they're in higher demand than they used to be, right? Back in September last year, they were 500 GP each, and they are over double that price now. So dropping a little bit isn't the end of the world. It's nice to see some profit with wood cutting again and giving the logs more uses in the game. Okay, this really shocks me. So the Tormented Synapse is so low right now, 26 million GP. Back when I got it, it was around 80 million GP, right? Wow, this is when Yama was first released. These things were really expensive. That was actually quite a while ago now, right? Back in May, that's crazy. They were 80 million GP each, and the Tormented Demons were really profitable. And they're very low now, like even lower than they were last time this year, which is kind of sad to see, really. So many of them coming into the game, and they're actually very useful. You can make the 3 different weapons with them. Very good time to maybe buy these. Is it the same story for the Burning Claws? That's a pretty big drop. Let's take a look at the past quarter. Yeah, it looks like they're just decreasing too, from 11 mil all the way down to 5 million GP. That is so depressing, considering this time last year they were, you know, in the 20 million GP range. So dropping 75% is pretty damn bad. Is this because of the bots or a lot of new players? I'm assuming this has to do with a lot of bots, and they're just not as useful. The Sunfire splinters here are interesting because if you look at this, 110 GP, this is just in the past week, all the way to 176. So maybe Jagex is tackling a botting problem at the Coliseum. You never really know, because that's a pretty big increase right here, right? And if we take a look at the past month, right, they were as low as 89 GP, so they have doubled in price over the last month. But yeah, they used to be like 300 each, so they are fairly low, so it's good. It's nice to see them actually on the rise again. But yeah, they used to be extremely expensive, and to see them this low is kind of crazy. But yeah, they are on the rise again, so you can profit from the Colosseum. Okay, somebody told me in the last video to check out the Huasca seed. Is that how you pronounce it? And it looks like they are on the rise from 23k all the way to 50k. I did not know they were that low. I thought they were more expensive, but this is the crazy part. When you take a look at the past quarter of these items, yeah, I remember back when they were like 100, 200k a seed. Crazy. Look at that drop from 200k in July all the way down to 8k in September. That is one of the craziest price drops I've ever seen. So with the Varlamore Part 3, they added the Custodia Stalkers, which did drop a ton of these into the game, and I assumed they were botted so much that they just kept dropping, and then maybe dealing with the bots again and they're going back up, but they will never reach this 200k again, right? That is crazy how expensive they used to be. Another suggestion from the comments was the zombie axe from 2 mil this week down to 1.5 mil in a week. The economy is dropping like crazy. And we'll look at the past month of this item, kind of almost the same deal. Really had a high of 2 mil in September. But yeah, it's actually it's on the rise, really. If we take a look at over the year, yeah, I mean, back then it was a lot more useful, right? 3 million GP, a lot of people used it. But looks like it's actually on the rise again. It was like 1.5 mil for a very long time, and it's about sitting at 2 mil now. The Soulreaper axe is a crazy one. Look at this, 288 mil down to 266 mil GP in a single week. And this item is really on the decline. The past month from 292, right? Yeah, it's kind of actually sad because this is a really cool weapon, and I definitely want to get it on my Iron Man one day, and maybe even buy it on my main just because it's so useful. But yeah, down from 390 to 270. Yeah, might be a really good time to buy this item, right? It's one of those weapons that has been expensive for quite a long time, right? And then just, you know, kind of dropped. Very weird to see. 400, even almost 500 mil back in April, down to 290 right now. I'm going to be checking some heavily botted items. We look at the Granite maul. This is the past week, and just the fact that they're 300k is shocking to me because they used to be close to 1 million GP, right? And this is an extremely easy thing, I'm assuming, for people to bot or even just AFK on an alt account, right? So the past quarter, 500k down to 290. And yeah, this is where it gets insane because I remember about, not a whole year ago, but like 8 months ago, right? They were 1 million GP each, so even if you got one every couple of hours, right, you made 1 mil guaranteed, plus all of the other drops and alchables, and how AFK gargoyles were, you could easily, if you just had that account on another screen, make upwards of 10 plus million GP a day for barely clicking the screen. So it was a very good method, and I guess now it's not so much. 300k, man, crazy. Blood runes are actually on the rise once again over the past month from 203 to 238. Very good time to craft those blood runes up, right? And that's the biggest rise in quite a while. This is the past quarter. Yeah, they're around, if they're ever go lower than 200, buy a ton of them because you can sell them in Alacrid for 200 each. But yeah, nice to see them on the rise again. Seems like some of these skilling activities are starting to be a little bit more profitable, and then some of them are just dying right out, right? A lot of the bosses, a lot of the drops seem like they are getting, the price is dropping a lot. But yeah, we'll take a look at the year of the blood rune. Back in April, again, 320 each, and they dropped down to 200, so it's nice to see them on the rise again. This is a very interesting chart. As you can see, the red Chinchompas are going up from 700 GP each all the way to 1.2k. I think there's a lot to do with this because there's so many new players into the game, and it's one of the fastest ways in the game to train range. And when a lot of new accounts come at once, they want to train their range, especially to get into the end game combat. And that's sort of my prediction on why they are on such a rise, because this is the highest they've been in almost a year, right? A year's time. They were cruising around the 800 to 900 GP for a while, and a huge spike when all of the World of Warcraft players started to join. So that's kind of just my thoughts on it. But even over just the past month, you would have made a lot of money if you were invested in Chinchompas. Kind of the same dealio for the black Chinchompas from 2.2k almost to 3k in the past month, and the chart looks very similar for the quarter, right? Yeah, you can make some money in the wilderness, that's for sure, but don't get PK'd. Around the same time here, shot right up. Very good way to train your range, right? And you can make some nice money training hunter. Kind of what I expected the Zulrah skills to be doing the same thing, right? A lot of new players coming into the game and using those blowpipes and Zulrah skills and everything like that. And this is, again, just the past month from 170 all the way to 218. And yeah, all these charts are looking very similar, right? Huge decrease and then the influx of players, and they kind of go back up. Zulrah skills have been on the decrease, though, over the past year, and kind of just seems that way. Depending on the update, they'll go up and down, right? But yeah, again, nice to see Zulrah be a little bit more profitable. What about the money dragon? Of course, Vorkath, the superior dragon bones in the past month, 22k down to 20k. Interesting how some things are going up and some things are going down. Again, though, still at 20k per bone, Vorkath is extremely profitable and maybe even being botted, right? Of course. If you look at the past quarter back in July, the bones were almost 30k each, which is the highest they've been in quite a while. So they are on the decline right now, but still at 20k each. Definitely a farmable and profitable boss. I think, honestly, these bones are too expensive for a lot of the newer players to be training their prayer on. I was told to check out magic seeds or any of the tree seeds, and to me, nothing seems very unusual, right? There's spikes and stuff like that, but again, these magic trees are on the decline. Like, even, I guess this time last year, they were 75k, so they went up a little bit, but, you know, they were in December 140k each, right? Going down, they even hit some very lows of like 70, 75k. Nothing out of the ordinary here. These always are coming in and going out of the game, and I guess people just still need to train their farming, right? This, again, right here is the influx of players we got. They go up a little bit, and then they kind of go back down. We've got the Noxious halberd, and it actually is going down a little bit over the past month from 66 mil down to 59. Kind of interesting because this item is a lot more useful now. If you look at the past quarter, it went from 40 all the way up to 60 million, so it went up quite a bit, even had some highs, 66 million GP. They just keep giving this item a lot more uses in the game. People are using it to farm Armadil. You can actually now use it on Zulrah, right? So of course it's going to be more in demand, and it's just an extremely good weapon overall. It's very good for the price. You can make a lot of money with it. This item's pretty funny. We got the Bottomless compost bucket. If we take a look at the past year of this item, right? Even, I mean, it was a million GP back then, but for the longest time, this item was about 500 to 600k, right? It's a nice drop that you can get from Hispori, but I mean, pretty much every account only needs one of these, and that's about it. And they're kind of rare from Hispori, so it's not like you can just get them back to back. You can only kill one per day. So that's why they kind of stayed at this 500k sort of value, right? And again, lots of new players coming to the game. The demand goes way up to 1.7 mil for a Bottomless compost bucket. And I guess the hype is sort of dying down a little bit now. People already have all their buckets, so they're dropping again. Wonder if they'll drop to about the 700k, 5 to 700k market again, or they might stay about a mil. Who knows? We've got the Amulet of Rancor, an item I really want to get on my Iron Man account, and it looks like the item is dropping. So weird that so many of the PVM items, like the weapons and armor, are dropping, and a lot of the skilling supplies are just going up in price, kind of opposite to what we've been dealing with over the past like 5 to 6 months anyways. Kind of have been opposite, so weird to see. But yeah, dropping quite a bit. Maybe a good time now to obviously pick up a lot of this gear. I remember saying, let's see if I can go back to last year. I remember saying 100 million GP for a necklace. That is crazy. And I knew it wouldn't stay there forever, and it's dropping, you know, about 70 mil now. Still pretty expensive, of course, but you need the Zenite and you need to get the drop from a Raxor, so it is a process of getting it for sure. You can still definitely make a lot of money over at a Raxor, but yeah, it's dropping a little bit. I haven't checked the price of a Christmas cracker in a long time. If we take a look at the whole year, as you can see, like they were always like 10K, like way back, even 2019, they were pretty much dirt cheap. And then people, you know, Christmas time, blah, 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 right? But then people started using them for gambling, and they went up to 3 million GP. And this is sort of when I started to kind of keep track of them, because I was like, that's crazy. If you look at an item like this is something you hardly ever see, right? And then all of a sudden 3 million GP, and then it was crashing ever since then, right? But still holding a value, like in October last year, 300, 400K, and it keeps dropping to still 157K, still quite a bit of money, because, you know, you can use the Christmas cracker on someone and it kind of gets the item out of the game, right? And then you get the party hat out of it. So they are always leaving the game, but they will always come back in December. So they're never going to be rare or anything like that. So I just wanted to keep an eye on this item because I haven't seen it in a while, and who knows how low it can go. We've got the first mega rare of the video, the Scythe of Vitur. Is it still in the #1 spot for the most expensive rare? We will have to see. And it looks like it's down a little bit, nothing crazy over the past month. But if you look at the past quarter, it has dropped quite a bit. Very good time, obviously, to buy a Scythe if you are rich as hell, but yeah, if we take a look at this time last year, it was about 1.64 bill, and now it is about 1.56 bill, so I mean, a little bit cheaper, right? But if we look back in July, it was 1.7, I believe it was passing the Twisted Bow around here, and then just crashed when all of the new bosses came out. People weren't using the Scythe, they were using more range weapons, magic weapons, stuff like that, right? So the Scythe wasn't being used as much, people wanted to buy other gear, right? But I think naturally it will go back up just because it is so powerful, and we'll be getting a lot more new bosses in the game, but maybe a good time to buy it. We've got the Tumeken Shadow right here from 891 to 893, and again, this mega rare is dropping a lot over the past quarter, from 1.1 billion GP down to under 900 mil. Very low. This is the lowest it's been in a year too, from 1.2 billion GP last year to 900. So this is the cheapest mega rare weapon under a billion GP. And it can definitely be a good one to start your account off with. It is still extremely powerful, and you can make a lot of money with it, of course. But I think just a lot more people do Raids 3 than the other raids, and magic hasn't been as useful in a long time compared to, say, range or even melee, right? So again, we'll probably see this go back to over a bill at one point, but we will have to see. This may be the lowest the item has ever been, right? Almost 2 billion when it was first released, and now it's, yeah, crazy to see. And we've got the Twisted Bow, the item that I've been going for 2 years now, from 1.4 like 5 bill pretty much to 1.57 bill, so it's went up about 75 million GP over the past quarter. Yeah, it's very similar priced to the Scythe now, which is funny to see. A lot more people are using range on things like the Doom of Macchiato, right? And even Yama and stuff like that. So yeah, I guess it's one of those things that we will have to see. And yeah, but over the past year of this item, it is still lower than it was this time last year, and it kind of crashed a little bit in May, but it's slowly recovering. And yeah, this is still the item that I want most in the entire game, and it's crazy to see how expensive it is. And last but not least, we've got the Old School Runescape bond in this month went from 14.1 to 14.5. Realistically, I always say this is an item that should always be going up, but over the past couple of these market videos I've made, it's actually decreased, which is the first time I've ever really seen that. You can see back in July right here, it had a big crash, and it's slowly recovering, right? As you can see, the big spikes are the big updates that people want bonds for and stuff like that, so it should always be going up. I still think maybe in a year's time it'll be at least about a 20+ million GP for a bond, which makes it extremely difficult for lower level players or free to play players to ever get a bond, but it's definitely interesting to see. If we take a look at the all time for the bond, it looks like the S&P 500, wow, they released back in 2017. They were 2.4 mil then, which is insane. As you can see, that's what I mean. It just keeps going up and up and up and up and up. And yeah, I thought it was crazy when they were over 10 mil each, where you could buy a green cash stack for whatever it is, $6-7. And yeah, now they're going up again. Well, yeah, my bank has been all over the place. Some days I log in and I'm like, why did I lose 40-50 million GP? Oh, something in my bank crashed, or I gained 70-80 mil. What the hell? Like, why? You know, it's always nice to see the old school RuneScape economy, get to know a little bit about the game too, and see how updates can impact the game, honestly, and how bots and a lot of other things can impact the game too. It's just nice to see overall, and yeah, it's crazy to see how much the game has grown with all the new players coming in. But yeah, if you guys have any other item suggestions for the next video, leave them down in the comments below and I will chuck them into the next video for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you did watch the whole video, comment gold down in the comments below. I appreciate it as always. Thank you so much, and I will catch you in the next one. See ya later.